All right, so I will send everyone this recording in just after the webinar ends. Sorry, Daniel's having trouble joining the webinar. Right, let's get started here. Hopefully he'll be able to join us in just a few minutes. Just a couple of housekeeping things. We're using Zoom today. Welcome to Zoom. If you haven't used it before, if you haven't joined a webinar, your camera and audio have been switched off. You can interact with me and other participants in the chat, and you can use the Q&A to ask any questions. That way they won't get lost. I'll definitely see your questions, very important. And as I mentioned, this webinar is being recorded. So we will share this recording with you probably by tomorrow. You'll get it by email. So if you need to leave, it happens, we'll send you the recording. All right, so presenters today, Daniel's having some technical issues. Hopefully he'll be along. There he is. All right, Daniel, perfect.
Hey everyone, I'm very sorry for the delay. Yes, I can hear you, I can see you. I see that you are in the process of introducing yourself. Please go ahead.
All right, so my name's Leila. For those of you who don't know me, I'm the head of customer success and marketing. I grew up in Belgium, actually. I've moved around quite a bit. I studied at the University of Southampton in the UK, and I studied languages. I've been working with Vinteum for 5 years now. And in my free time, I enjoy walking my dogs, and I read a lot. So that's me. Daniel, who are you?
All right. Well, hi, everyone. My name is Daniel. I'm a business graduate from Bolivia, and I've been part of Neigbrs since 2021. I'm the account representative, and I help our clients achieve their goals through the use of our system, and I guide them through the onboarding process and beyond.
All right, amazing. So what are we going to talk about today? Today, we're going to be talking about how to engage your residents. So I'm going to be talking about how to roll out your new software, the change curve, our tips, how a couple of our clients rolled out Vinteum, Neigbrs by Vinteum, and then Daniel is going to do a quick Neigbrs walkthrough, both the admin and resident side. And at the end, there will be an open Q&A. So if you have any questions, like I said, please do send them to us in the Q&A section, and we will answer those. All right, so let's start with the benefits of software and how to roll software out. So the best way to roll out software is to be clear with residents. So when you begin the process of bringing software to your community, you need to communicate with residents, let them know why you're doing it and what the benefits are. I'm sure you already know some of what the benefits are. I'm going to launch a quick poll here to see what you guys think the benefits of software are, so you can fill that out. So it's important to share those with residents so they know clearly how the software is helping their community, what difference it makes. All right, we have a few answers coming in here. This is super interesting. Everyone agrees that it helps to improve communication, and I completely agree. That is really what we focus here at Vinteum, is improving communication. A few of you also say that it saves time. That's great. Everyone wants to save time these days. Time is money. And it also increases transparency and keeps everything in one place. That's amazing. It's so great to see so many of you agree on that. All right, I'm going to end this poll. Thank you guys for participating. So once you've been clear with residents about what the benefits are, that the whole board knows what those benefits are, you need to start collecting residents' information if you don't have it already. So updated residents' information is really key. You need to have their emails, phone numbers, emergency contacts, super important in Florida where there are a lot of hurricanes, a lot of natural disasters. And mailing addresses is also useful, especially if you have a lot of snowbirds, they're not always in the community. it's good to have their mailing addresses so you can get in touch with them by mail if needed. And then while you're in the process of getting all your information up into the system and figuring out exactly how it works, how you use it, you need to keep talking about this change. If you don't keep talking about it, people are going to forget about it. They will be really confused when the change actually occurs. So it's good to keep talking about it. You can do that in your newsletter if you have one. Keep mentioning it in meetings. You can put a poster up in your community as well to let people know. We even provide clients with posters if you're interested in some of those. And then when you're ready, you need to invite residents to the community. It's really important you are ready for this step. So the board should be comfortable with the system, because this is the part where residents are going to start asking you questions. So I recommend sending out an email to residents before you send out the actual invite email. So that way they will know what email it will come from, what it's called, how it's going to work. An explanation goes a long way. It helps people feel a lot more comfortable. Helps them realize that it's not spam as well, as that happens quite a lot. Someone sees an email they don't recognize, they just put it as spam and forget about it. And then finally, you need to use the system consistently. In both Daniel and I's experience, I'm going to talk for both of us here. When the board uses the system consistently, if they share information there, they start to accept amenity reservations, service requests, ACH requests, everything from the system, residents will realize that it really is a community hub and that they should use it. So you really are key in this process. Then here I have put the example of the invite email that we suggest you send. So this is the model that we created to let residents know how the system's going to work. So you do this before you, so a day or on the day of sending invites, you could send this to them. So it's a really simple letter. Hi, residents of your community. We've decided to move forward. We're building a new website. You'll find important community information here. This is where you access it. So you can post your website here so they can see that they have a new website. You're going to be sending out invitations from no reply at vinteumneighbors.com and suggest that they add it to their contacts, their safe sender list. Then encouraging them to log in, see how it works. And we also include our resident manual and training video here. And then we suggest that you put some contact information, so the person who's most comfortable with the system, put their contact information. So any issues residents have, they can get in touch with the person in charge very easily. Again, if you haven't seen this letter before and if you'd like to use it, send a message in the chat or send us an email afterwards, and we'll be happy to send this to you. And then I mentioned this at the beginning, we have the change curve. So this for me is a really great illustration of how residents feel when there is a change in their community, because it's hard to accept change. You get used to one way of doing it and suddenly you're doing it a completely new way. So this is an amazing illustration. So the first stage that you have is denial. You need to provide HOA members and tenants with information at this stage, benefits, information, so that they understand why the board is doing this and why they should use it. The second stage says anger here. I think anger is a little bit strong. Personally, I prefer frustration. Normally at this stage, something's gone wrong. They don't understand how to log in. They never got an email. The email went to spam. Something went wrong and they feel frustrated. And this is a tough stage. It's the stage that the board most gets complaints. And the only way you can get through it is to be available for residents and offering support to them. I've even known clients that have gone to their residents' homes to help them log in, understand the system, which is especially important if your community isn't so tech savvy. Then once their frustration is passed, once residents begin to understand the system, they start to actually explore. So they log in, They look around, they see what it has. Maybe at this point they post on the social network. Maybe they realize that they can book amenities. They start to see a few benefits here. They see why this new system is a good thing for the community. And then finally, after all of that, hopefully we get to acceptance. This is where residents really understand the benefits of the system. They use it consistently, and they really get why the board made this change, why it's a good thing. But to get there, the board has to prove that it's important. They have to prove that it's a central system in the community. And the only way that the board or manager can do that is by using it consistently. If things are out of date, then there's no point logging in anymore and people will give up. They'll walk away. So how did a couple of our clients do it? So I spoke to two different clients of ours, one in California and one in Florida, who told me how they rolled out Neighbors. If you've successfully rolled out Neighbors, let us know in the chat. I would love to hear about it. But this board member in California made announcements at board meetings. So at every board meeting, they would talk about it, they would mention it, and then they would also send out emails reminding people about the system. And this really pushes people, keeping it front of mind, top of mind. You understand me, can't remember the expression right now, is so important. And then this other board member on the other side of the country in Florida found that what really helped them was to hold virtual meetings in the website. So by holding virtual meetings, you're really encouraging residents to log in, going to virtual meetings, opening it and joining through Zoom. So that is a really great way to get people to log into the system and start using it. Got a couple of chat messages here. I will definitely send you the rollout letter. I'll send you that after this. And then while I talked a lot about how boards can support their residents, we support boards through this process. And we do that through 3 different lines of communication. So you can always reach us by email, by chat in Neighbors, and also by phone. And I'll share those contact information at the end of the webinar as well. You can also set up meetings with us. We're very happy to do a Zoom meeting. We provide you with materials to help you. So we have manuals for both residents and administrators. We have checklists. We have posters with QR codes to the app so that you can put those around to encourage residents to start downloading the app and understanding the system. We also can create personalized videos for you if there's something specific that you'd like to share with residents. YouTube has resident step-by-steps and step-by-steps for admins as well. And we also put those links in our help center, which has a lot of different information there. So we really are here to help you and to help your community through the rollout, but also beyond that as well. I think I've talked enough. So Daniel, would you like to share your screen and do a short walkthrough of the system?
Of course. So I can share my screen here. And there we go. All right. So we're going to start our walkthrough on the website, a very powerful tool to communicate and promote your community, as well as make the rollout and adoption easier. The most important part of the entire website, of course, is this button right here, Access Your Community. As clicking here will open up your login page where you, residents, board members, administrators, and everyone can log in into their accounts after they receive the invitation email. Here, they can also reset their passwords and download our applications with these QR codes right here. They just need to point their phones and download our applications. Please use our app when using a mobile device. Going back into the website, administrators can easily edit and update everything here, as well as activate and deactivate the different sections that you see here. Scrolling down, you will find that you can add a welcoming message, as well as instructions and direct access links to any resource, file, manual, or form that you like residents to have an easy and direct access to. Like Leila mentioned, clear lines of communication, clear way of reaching a resource is very important in making sure that the rollout is successful. And the website is a very powerful tool to help you on that end. If you scroll down the website, you'll find the different sections. Here, you can promote your community and use it as a platform to help sell any vacant units, as well as help residents and provide clear lines of communications of any purpose that the board would like. You can promote your services or any services that your community may provide or of your area, promote in the selling of any vacant units, and more. You can use the website as a very powerful tool to make the rollout easier, as you can see here. And everything is done by you. Don't need to make any complex changes. You just click, save, publish, and you're done. Don't need to code, nor do anything complex. Now, after you were invited and created your password, you will be able to log in into their accounts. And this is what you will see as a master administrator. The most important part for you to know is that you are in absolute control, which means that you can activate and deactivate all the different features that you see here present on this part menu. This means that if you like, you can roll out the system and roll it out in a basic form by deactivating most of these features. And then as time goes by, as residents get interacting with the system and they get more comfortable, you can activate more or release more and more features till the point that you fit your needs and the board's objectives. That is done very easily by going here on community management and then on profiles. You can access the same location by this side menu by scrolling down, clicking on community management, and then on profiles. There you can very easily turn on and off every single feature that you see before by just clicking on that box and clicking on save. You can also control the user experience by profiles. This means that you can make the board members do and see exactly what you want them to do and see. So everyone will play by the rules that the board has set, and the board will have absolute control over the user experience of everyone, from board members, resident managers, assistant managers, etc., etc. You are in absolute control, which opens up the way for you to invite your residents. And the invitation process is very simple and is done under community management, absentee owners/residents. We also have articles and a video regarding this specific process. So if you ever have a questions, you can click here on this orange bubble, and that will open up our help center, which Leila also mentioned. This is the most direct way in which all of you, all administrators, can reach out for assistance, as well as to look for our help articles. For instance, on how to invite residents. You just need to type invite. You will see that here. Open up that article with a step-by-step, as well as our link to our YouTube page, where you can find this video on how to invite. Of course, the more detail, the better, right? You can scroll down and access that using this orange bubble. There, you will see that to invite someone, you can do so either individually or everyone is a group, just everyone in the community all at once by clicking on this top box right here on the top left corner. You can also invite people individually. And in case of this Robert Bates, we can click here on invitation sent and see the last time that someone was invited. This allows you to very easily keep track of everyone and re-invite if needed. Like Leila mentioned, the participation of the board here is very important. As the more participation, the more interaction you get from board members, from administrators, the easier the rollout and adoption will be. We'll have 3 pillars that we like to suggest our clients on this effort for the rollout and the invitation of your residents. That is patience, repetition, and persistence. A lot of patience, a lot of persistence, and just keep getting there, sending and interacting with the system. You can, for instance, send a welcoming notice using your most powerful tool, notices here. You can create a notice and have that template that Leila mentioned here present together with a welcoming message that will reach all residents, even if they don't have an account. You can also include our manuals, for instance, as attachments, or the welcoming letter, or any guide that you like. We'll, of course, be happy to help you with any support materials that you think may be necessary. Then, I would like to again remind you all that to follow our 3 pillars of patience, repetition, and persistence. We also have another webinar and a recording of our YouTube channel about this subject more in depth. Now, here we're going to move to the resident profile. By clicking here at the top, we can move between profiles, and that will also help you control the user experience because it gives you that access of the 2 sides of the coin, right? Even if you're not actually a resident in that community, you can add yourself as in a fake unit and you as a resident to see that view, to experience what a resident will see when they log in. In that way, it's very easy for you to change profiles, make changes as the administrators, and then go back to see how those changes are affecting your resident profile. So that when you invite and roll out the system, everyone will play by the rules that you have set and you want them to. Here you will notice that the resident profile has a different layout because the system is based by profiles. So each profile has a different authorization and will do different things. As a resident here, you have fewer options, of course. And in the dashboard, you will have a 1-pager of everything that a resident will want to know easily. For instance, the latest notices, any social network posts that they have posted on or have commented on, any requests that they have going, reservations, as well as common events. This is very useful to increase the participation of residents because they will know that there's a board meeting taking place, or if tomorrow there's a barbecue. So you can get that interaction between residents in both ways, both informal and formal, right? Because everyone there can become part and interact with each other. Under my unit, as a resident, you will be able to make changes to your unit, of course, add additional emails, add your emergency contacts, as well as add other information like vehicles, as well as pets. You can keep track of all the information under notices, as well as reach out for assistance in Talk to Manager to everyone added to that profile. As you can see, the system allows residents to, once they get starting using the system, the ability to have this as a community hub. So they can do everything that they may need, from reservations to reporting, to manage requests, to message all the residents for a hangout or to have a get together on the weekend. They can handle both their personal, informal lives in the community, as well as any roles that they may have going. If they are a board member, if they are a manager, if they need to see the budget, all of that is handled by the system. For instance, here we can go to documents and we can see the specific folders as well as files that were meant only to see by residents. If you have files that are visible by other profiles, then you will need to change that profile to see those files. So you can share resources easily and have them accessible from residents in a multi-approach way. And we like to recommend that to facilitate their rollout. For instance, you can send the welcoming message on the website with our manuals here. You can relate that in the welcoming notice, as well as in the event or in the next board meeting. Like Leila mentioned, the more participation it gets from the board, from the board members, from administrators, you will see how easier the adoption will be. So that's a quick workaround on how to roll out the system and see the system both as a master administrator and as a resident. Any questions? We're gonna take a look.
All right, great. Thank you, Daniel. Sorry, I had my camera off. My internet isn't great today. The only question that we've had is if Vinteum has any plans to improve service requests so that we can see them all in a list form. And we don't have any current plans to change that screen where you can see all of the service requests. But if you send us an email explaining a little bit more about that issue, we'll definitely take a look. We'll talk about it and see what we can do. Because we do have some tickets around service requests, but not actually the layout of those, of all the different requests.
Yes.
So far, we don't have any other questions. You're so welcome. So while people type out their questions, let me share our contact information so that people can see that. That's really important. All right. It's loading here. Okay, cool. So this last screen here has all our different contact information. I think you have this already, but just in case, Daniel's email is daniel@vinteum.io. Mine is leila@vinteum.io. There's our website there, vinteum.io. So that has different blogs, information about what we do. Some of our blogs are directed for clients. I also send some of our resources in our monthly newsletter. So if you don't receive that, let us know and I can sign you up for that. Our YouTube as well is really, really helpful. So if you look up Vinteum software on YouTube, you'll find us there as well. Our phone number is 844-900-0910. You can reach us there. And then for clients, it's extension 3. And then I put the link to our help center. So like Daniel showed, you can get to that from our chat bubble. So that opens up the help center. You can find it there, but you can also look it up directly by looking up vinteum.talk, TAWK.help, and you'll find us. And then here in the corner, I've put a QR code, which links to Daniel's calendar. So you could book a meeting with Daniel if anything that we've said today has made you interested. If you've got any specific questions you want to ask us, you can always book a meeting with him here. All right. We don't have any other questions coming in. Oh, yes, we do. Do we have any plans to interact with TOPS condo software? Not currently. Not at the moment. But if we do, we'll let you know. All right.
Well,
Okay.
I think that's pretty much it, yes. But, thank you everyone for joining. And if you have any questions, please, like Leila mentioned, feel free to schedule a meeting with me. I'm always happy to help. And we can go over the system, any tasks that you like to, have more help with. I'm always happy. You have my schedule.
Very well said. We won't take up any more of your time. Thank you so much for joining. If you do have any questions, please do get in touch with us. And it was lovely to see you all here today. Have a wonderful rest of the day, and we'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye, everyone.